Beautiful weather in Bristol, Tennessee. It's time for NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. Beautiful weekend, springtime, temperature now 47 degrees, highs expected today near 70. And hi everybody, Steve Burns alongside Hermie Sadler and Jeff Hammond. And guys, things happen quickly here at Bristol. We need to talk quickly. We have 50 cars, and Hermie, we have a lot of unknowns going into this qualifying session.
And we had a very interesting practice session yesterday. A lot of cars very, very loose on this racetrack, and they got a challenge here today. Yesterday, some of the guys worked on long run, but Jeff, in order to win this race, if you're good on the long run, it's not going to matter unless you can help me get qualified in that top 10. How can I do that?
What we're going to have to do right quick, we've got to put the track bar down a little bit, get the air pressure adjusted. I'm more worried about getting you a forward bite to make a good qualifying lap. We'll take a look here at Jason Leffler, first guy out. Hopefully his racetrack's going to hook up. He's going to be running out in daylight during through 1 and 2, a little bit of shade through 3 and 4, and man, getting forward bite is going to be the key to making a quick lap, Steve.
Hermie, how tough is it? They, as you said, 2 practice sessions yesterday. Nobody has been on the racetrack here today. They just hop in their cars and take off.
Well, you got to have a lot of faith in your crew chief, because he's going to tell you, we've made these changes. You're going to have a lot of grip this morning. Track's going to be great. And as a driver, you don't have a chance to feel it out as much as you do in other racetracks. When you get to 3 and 4, you got to be committed to get back to the throttle, to get to take the green flag, to get a good lap.
Good news for guys like Trevor Bain, a young man getting ready to roll off the starting grid right now. Jason Leffler has run about 2/10 quicker than what he practiced at yesterday, so that's a good sign that the racetrack's got some pretty decent grip.
Yeah, if your car's right, there should be a lot of grip first thing this morning. A lot of times in qualifying, you want to go late in the session, but I'm thinking one of these first 10, 12 cars, if somebody can lay down a good lap, might be pretty hard to beat.
Hermie, looks like Jason Leffler picked up a little bit on a second lap. Do you think that will be the norm?
Well, that's what you get a lot of times when it's a cool racetrack and tires are cool. Remember, these guys have to go out on stickers, so it doesn't surprise me at all to see some of these second laps be faster.
Yeah, got to get some heat in the tires, Steve. I think that's going to be also another key, is making sure you get enough heat in the tires.
19-year-old Trevor Bain from Knoxville, Tennessee, says this is his home track. Bob Dillner.
Well, Steve Burns, a lot going on here in the garage or in the infield of the Bristol Motor Speedway. Carl Edwards was slated to go out third in NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying, but right now there's sort of a media circus going right now here around this hauler. He will not go on the clock because Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski are inside the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series hauler right now to discuss with the NASCAR officials the incident a couple weeks ago where Brad Keselowski caught air and crashed at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So that's the scene down here right now. Keselowski is slated to go out 7th. Don't know if he's going to miss his slot, but right now Carl Edwards not taking time because he's still in the Sprint Cup Series hauler.
And Steve, I can promise you, if he's going out 7th, he won't make it either.
Nope. I think that meeting's going to be more than about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. And I tell you, it doesn't sound like much, but this meeting could potentially hurt these 2 guys' qualifying effort in this Nationwide Series race, because we talk about you need to qualify in the top 10 to get that track position to start this day.
You think maybe this is another message being sent by NASCAR to say we kind of control you?
We could be.
Jason Leffler, the quickest of 3. We'll be right back. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Nationwide qualifying for Bristol is brought to you by Hamburger Helper. 1 pound, 1 pan, 1 tasty meal. Jason Leffler still the quickest. Eric McClure from nearby Abingdon, Virginia, the slowest of 5 drivers who have qualified. Michael McDowell in the 81, completing his qualifying attempt. Still no sign of Carl Edwards or Brad Keselowski. And getting word now they have just emerged from their meeting.
Together, look at that. A friendly tap, a parting shot.
Yeah, but look, they went separate ways.
They say, y'all go outside, smile for the camera.
Right. Now here's how you're going to do it, boys.
I see Brad Keselowski. You can actually see him running down the grid.
Yep, we sure can.
Running towards his race car, so they want to get in and get this qualifying in as well.
Yeah, Carl Edwards, he's just kind of walking down over there, so. Might have been a fly on the wall for that little situation.
Oh, boy. Michael Annett in his Toyota.
Now, Hermie, we talked a lot about it during trackside last night, about going up inside the hauler and having a little word of prayer. You ever been up inside the hauler and had a word of prayer?
I have been up there a time or two, yes, sir.
Did they tell you then that you need us a lot more than we need you?
You have that talk, and I tell you, they got the perfect guy Mike Helton, because when you go sit down and look at that guy, as nice a guy as he is when it comes to NASCAR business, he's in charge.
Matt Yoakum.
Steve, it's great to see such fellowship on the first day of
Matt.
spring here at Thunder Valley. The first guy to roll off still P1, Jason Leffler. How different is this racetrack grip-wise from yesterday to today?
It's definitely a lot better than it was at the end of happy hour for us. So Scott Zipadelli and all the guys at the ABF Camry did a good job. They made a lot of changes last night, and we were struggled yesterday really bad. So hopefully I get us a good starting spot up front. I don't know if it'll be good enough for the pole. I don't know if I would have gone faster if I was awake or if I went faster because I'm half asleep. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully we'll end up in the top 5 somewhere.
Well, Matt, Jason Leffler has just been bumped from P1. Kelly Byers, 15.516.
Steve, I told you, that car looked fast. It looked like he was on a rail, Hermie, and he definitely put down a lap, and he picked it up on the second lap, 15.42. Pretty impressive start for this young man.
So Kelly Byers now the driver to beat in nationwide qualifying. Nationwide Series qualifying continues. John West Hanley moments ago really getting loose. He hit the wall yesterday in practice. Fellas, he almost did it again.
Yeah, he went to a backup car and had a pretty decent first lap. Ran a 15.7 and got loose off turn 2 on lap 2, but still not a bad comeback at the limited time on the racetrack in a backup car, Steve.
And James Busher in the 1 just sneaks in front of John West Hanley. So it's Kelly Byers, Jason Leffler, and James Busher as Kenny Wallace completed over 7,000 laps on this racetrack in Nationwide Series competition.
Pretty good racetrack for old Kenny.
Won here in 94.
You know, he sat on the pole here in Bristol of August of 1994. You know what's helping him? Who was the crew chief on that car that day?
94.
Yeah.
Good job of 1588.
Who was it?
Me.
Jeff Hammond.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was his crew chief back then.
Let's go to Matt.
And catching up with Kelly Byers, whose teammate this weekend is Scott Wimmer in the 7. So what did you tell Scott about your car's handling characteristics during your run?
Well, we actually overnight went to the setup that he's got in our car. We struggled a little bit yesterday from where we wanted to be with the Hellman Chevrolet, and Scott's a great driver, knows what he needs, been around the sport for a long time. So we went to the similar package he's got, and you know, just obviously transferring air pressures and stuff to help a teammate out. We had a good lap there, and the guys are doing a great job for me. So looking forward to the race.
Big pickup from practice.
All right, thank you very much, Scott Lagacy on the racetrack. And we are through 11 drivers. Kelly Byers the quickest in a Chevrolet.
Yeah, Scott, he started 20th in this race last year and finished 13th. This is only Bristol start, so
Lagacy 19th in points.
Good pickup on second
yeah,
lap.
looking to get some seat time.
Let's go to Bob Dillner.
Well, Carl Edwards pulling out the racetrack right now, but on his brisk walk to his car to climb in, I didn't get a chance to talk to him about what happened inside the NASCAR hall, and he simply told me everything is fine, everything is settled between him and Brad Keselowski.
You know, guys, I think it's kind of an interesting note that NASCAR elected to wait the Saturday morning to have this meeting. I mean, they had the decision handed down on Tuesday where they put Carl Edwards on probation for the next 3 weeks, but then go through all inspection and practice and qualifying for the Cup cars and wait to Saturday morning to have a little, I guess you might say, peace meeting.
Yeah, you'd have thought.
Peace accord.
Yeah, you'd have thought they would have tried to get those guys together first thing yesterday morning before they hit the racetrack. But you know, those guys both are hardcore racers, and they got to race together a lot this year. So they can say that it's over and settled, but they're going to be racing against each other a lot this year.
Well, you got to understand something right now. Carl Edwards is leading the point standings. He's 41 points ahead of guess who?
Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski. So there may be a battle brewing over here.
Well, then on the Sprint Cup side, you know, Carl Edwards is 20th in points and Brad Keselowski is 33rd. So neither one of those guys need to give up a lot of points, you know, messing with each other. They need to race.
They need to get focused back on what the mission is.
Make up some of those points.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Take a look at the point standings after 3 races in this 2010 season. Brad Keselowski takes to the high banks here at Bristol Motor Speedway. By the way, Edwards a 4-time winner here at Bristol. 2 times, excuse me, I said 4-time winner. 2 times in the Cup Series.
How much you want to bet these guys qualify side by side?
In one
That's the way it works out, ain't it?
That's exactly how it's going to go.
Keselowski 3rd on his first lap. Now, Carl Edwards, he was second quickest on his first lap. Slowed down a little bit the second lap.
Look at this big pickup.
Yeah. Top of the heap there for Brad Keselowski.
So Brad Keselowski on his second lap is the quickest of them all at a 15:40. Next Saturday, the world's toughest trucks march into Martinsville, where tight racing and crushed metal are always a part of the action. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Martinsville next Saturday, 1:30 Eastern, only on Speedway. Hermes Sadler will be up on the wheel.
Yeah, I hope that crushed metal doesn't involve
you.
Doesn't involve me.
What number are you going to be racing next week?
48.
48.
Yeah, got a new truck from Kevin Harvick Incorporated, and Mark Smith got us a good engine from Pro Motor, and we're looking to have a good run. Always enjoy running Martinsville.
48 number may bring you some good luck like it does Jimmy Johnson.
That's right. I asked Jimmy last time. I said, the 48 doesn't work for me quite like it does for you. What's up with that?
Speaking of not working, that 66 car is nervous. He's been a little high in 3 and 4 and a little bit loose off of 1 and 2.
Sideways loose.
Well, sideways loose, but he picks up to 4th overall, Matt.
And Steve, it's always good to clear the air, so to speak. So Carl, you and Keselowski had a chance to sit down in the NASCAR hauler. How would you characterize the meeting?
I'd say it was good. I mean, we're just go forward and go racing. I mean, everything got a little crazy at Atlanta. We all agreed on that. And the best thing going forward is just to race hard. And we got a pretty good Copart Ford Fusion here this weekend. Brad got to go out right behind me, and he beat me in qualifying. So that's, but it's going to be a good race. And I think, I think our Scott's Fusion is good for tomorrow. But yeah, that's behind us. We're going racing, and it was a good meeting.
Good deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Matt, Justin Allgaier got extremely loose.
Again at the other end.
Yeah, at both ends.
He's looking for the cushion, guys. 12th quickest on that first lap, and I'm not sure this second one's going to be a whole lot better.
Well, he had a pretty good car in the long run yesterday, and that's a product of not being able to get him tight enough to run that qualifying lap we talked about.
Crew chief needed to tighten him up a little bit more. He's going to wind up being 11th quickest. Now his teammate Brad Keselowski's up on the pole now. Hey, look, they're talking a little bit here. Yeah.
How about that? We're mending fences.
Well, the thing about those two guys, neither one of those guys are going back down. When they get back on the racetrack and they start racing for a spot, neither one of them are going back down.
Well, did you hear what Carl said? Brad went out after I did and beat me. I mean, you could already tell. I don't like that. No. I wanted to beat him. I wanted to show him I'm better.
And look, whether you like Carl Edwards or Brad Keselowski or whatever, what you've got to like about both of those guys is they're very competitive and they're not going to give an inch.
They're going to race hard. That's that much you can bet on.
16 drivers have qualified. 50 are here. Of course, remember, the first 30 locked in via their owner points.
Mike Bliss slows way down on that second lap. Remains 15th quickest.
Stay with us. More nationwide qualifying after this. Mike Wallace in the 0-1 has qualified his Chevrolet in the 14th position. And Brendan Gaughan 10th overall in his Toyota for Rusty Wallace, Inc.
He sat on the pole here a year ago.
Sure did. Coleman Presley, third generation driver in that 23 car. His father, Robert Presley.
It's a good pickup right there from his practice session from yesterday.
Coleman has 5 nationwide series starts. Coleman 15th overall. Matt has Brad Keselowski.
And the second half of the story. So we talked to Carl. He talked a lot about the conversation as far as the substance goes. Was it more about the past or more about moving forward?
We're always talking about moving forward, and to carry that even forward, it was great to be able to get into Discount Tire Dodge and run as well as we did. I see Harvick's out there now. He's really good. I think he's got a good shot at it. So hopefully we can hold up for the pole, but we've got great cars in both series and trying to focus on this weekend and what we can do to move forward from last week's races.
So everything's good between you two?
I think so. It sounds to me like there's more going on between Kevin and Carl than there is me and Carl.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
See how he deflected that off?
I'm telling you right now,
right off of him.
Somebody has done a really good job of coaching that young man. Yeah, there's definitely no love lost between Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards either.
They had a bit of a war of the words through the media yesterday, but Kevin is amazing here at this track. 5 wins. He leads in terms of laps led with over 1,000, 12 top 5 finishes for Kevin. He is 7th overall.
And he'll run good today in the race, but you could tell he was still a little bit too much on the free side. Jeff, to be real aggressive with that steering wheel and the throttle.
And you talked about normally the winner has come out of a top 8 starting position. Kevin Harvick has defied that before. He started 38th. He did. Won this race back in 05. So if he's a little bit deep in the field, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd be more worried about whether or not I can watch and stay out of his way when he's coming through the field. It should be something to watch.
Well, Kyle Busch is also pretty magical on this half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway. Won both Cup races here a year ago.
He was fun last night on trackside, wasn't he?
He was putting KB1 stickers all over everything.
Oh, really?
Everywhere. On Jeff's face, Larry's forehead. Let's go to Bob Dillon.
Good effort, dude.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. inside his number 6 machine right now. And I saw you lean into Carl Edwards when he got in the race car. What advice did he give you for qualifying here in the Nationwide Series at Bristol?
Not to overdrive it. You know, I was just asking him if he planned on running a little bit up off the bottom, try to keep his momentum up, and that seemed to work for us a little bit yesterday in practice when we did our mock qualifying run. So we'll go out and see what this number 6 Ford Fusion has, and hopefully we can get a good solid top 10 starting spot and you know, go out to the race and hopefully finish somewhere up there.
Ricky did tell me he's got some butterflies going into qualifying, his first qualifying attempt here at Thunder Valley.
Bob, the pole sitter for Sunday's Food City 500. Joey Logano on the racetrack, very close to the wall, off of turn 2.
Got to pick up a little over a 10th if he wants to sit on the pole and unseat Brad Keselowski.
P2.
Got close.
15:41.
Good job, man. Almost got him.
To Brad Keselowski's 15:40.
It's tight.
That's 100. 23 drivers have qualified. Josh Wise in the 61, the 27-year-old, is 17th overall. Casey Kane was quick in practice yesterday, guys, in the 38 car.
5th quickest, and he's won this race here in the fall of 07, so
Not going to be happy with his first lap. He has really lost a lot of speed in the middle of 1 and 2 on lap 1. We'll see if he can regroup here and get a good second lap.
Hermie, we both agree this looked like this would be one of the cars that not to beat later on this afternoon. He really looked good on the long run.
Yeah, much better lap going here on lap 2.
He's gaining back.
Yeah, he'll want to get up there in that top 5, top 10 to get him a good shot for today.
So Casey picks up 6th overall in his Toyota. Want to keep up with all the results and stats from the track? Well, check out the new NASCAR Stats package. Get the latest practice and qualifying reports, race results, and driver standings. Go to the NASCAR section of SpeedTV.com.
Hermie, we got Ricky Stenhouse on the track right now. And let's see. Whoa, hang on there, partner.
Using a lot of the racetrack.
Yeah, now he was asking Carl Edwards about what kind of line he was trying to run, but he's all over the racetrack. He's been high, he's been low, but why was that? I mean, what was he looking for?
Yeah, he understands already, even though with limited experience, with these nationwide cars, you've got to be careful not to put too much wheel into it or turn the wheels too sharp because you can scrub off a lot of speed. So he was asking Carl, hey, are you going to dig right at the bottom? Or are you going to give the car a little bit of leeway in the middle of the corner to try to keep that momentum up? Yeah, we see that, Ricky.
He's just confirming for us.
The picture was worth 1,000 words, wasn't it?
Roush Fenway Racing has 5 wins in Nationwide Series competition here. Let's take a look at our Toyota Sponsor Fire track description. Hermie, you talked about the progressive banking here. That change was made to the Speedway several years ago, and a lot of the drivers really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I ran the truck race here last fall and was amazed at how much you can move around the racetrack and run different lines and get good runs off the corners. And the issue this weekend so far has been whether or not this tire is going to rubber up and the racetrack's going to react the same way. And as Jeff pointed out yesterday, so far the fast cars have been right around the bottom.
Scott Wimmer in the number 7 car. When last time we saw the 7, it was being driven by Danica Patrick. His first lap good for 15th quickest. Picks it up a little bit. Moves all the way up to 13th.
26 drivers have qualified. Brad Keselowski in a Dodge is the quickest. Stay with us. Brian Keselowski in the 26 car is 25th overall. And Tony Raines has gone out in that 34 car. Raines, good effort, 17th overall. And now Joe Nemechek in the 87. Next up, he'll be followed by Reed Sorensen. And those are the final two drivers locked in. Then we'll begin knockout qualifying.
Guys, we watched Joe Nemechek complete his second qualifying attempt. His first was good enough for 20th quickest. New configuration, old configuration, a little FYI.
Yeah.
The number of crashes or DNFs in the new style is averaging about 3 to 4 cars being out of the race in this new configuration. The old way, and this is what I think this racetrack looks more like, it's a little over 8, between 8 and 9 cars out. So that's telling me the old style, man, they used to have to beat and bang and knock each other out of the way. I think that's what we're going to see this weekend and today. Everybody run on the bottom. If you want to pass them, you got to knock them out of the way.
Well, Reed Sorensen's on the racetrack. Let's go back to Matt.
Stellar weekend so far for Joey Logano on pole for the Sprint Cup Series race tomorrow. Currently front row for today's race. You had a long talk with your teammate Kyle Busch, the comparison between your car and his car on your qualifying runs.
Yeah, his car did exactly the opposite of my car did, which is pretty funny. I woke up this morning thinking the track was going to be pretty free. It's cooler out than what we practiced yesterday, and every time I've ever qualified here, I've been loose. So I think maybe me telling Kevin that might maybe tighten it up too much, or I think it all kind of threw us for a loop. This tire's a lot different than what we usually had here. So still a good run for the GameStop Toyota. Just missed it by a little bit and just shoved the nose a little bit too much on the first lap. Second lap was faster, which I don't think that's typical for most everyone here. So it gave up a little bit there, but you know, when it all comes down to it, we still got an awesome race car, and I'm looking forward to getting a race for this thing.
Thanks, Joey.
Thank you.
Well, Matt, Reed Sorensen just finished his lap. Good effort. His first start of 2010 in the Nationwide Series. Sorensen 7th overall.
Hey, I want to go back. Joe Nemechek just completed his lap. He had AM/FM energy on the hood of his car. Remember Bobby Moon used to race with us in the Nationwide Series? Ron Englander had a couple of
trouble here. Big hit right there, Dennis Setzer.
Hard contact. Let's take another look at Dennis Setzer. Glad that he's all right, even though he's frustrated.
Oh, that car was loose
before we got to the corner.
Right. Turned down in there, and it never gave him a chance. Never gave him a chance.
Another look.
Wasn't much he's going to do with that one. She was loose before we got to the corner.
Boy, it just snapped hook when it went down into one. You heard Dennis Setzer frustrated, but otherwise okay. We'll take a break from the Bristol Motor Speedway. More NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying coming up. Brad Keselowski, the driver to beat. Speed's presentation of NASCAR Nationwide qualifying from Bristol is brought to you by the Sponsifier. Visit ToyotaRacing.com and click on Design It, Enter It. Moments ago, Dennis Setzer climbed from his race car. He went to the Infield Care Center. He has been treated and released. He did get one lap of qualifying, and then just after that, Chris Lawson up the hill in turn 2.
Hermie, you were saying something about that mental aspect a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it as Dennis Setzer was sitting on the racetrack. You know, Chris Lawson coming out next, not a lot of experience. How was that playing with him mentally? And he goes out and trying to step it up to get this car in the show, and is not able to complete a lap.
Now, Jeff, as we watch Mark Green, let's talk about the scenarios. Setzer in, but likely would have, I mean, he got his qualifying lap in, would have to go to a backup.
Yeah, his car's got heavy damage to it, so it's going to have to be.
If his lap is good enough.
If his lap is good enough, so he's got to sit there and wait, but you can't wait. You're going to have to kind of like start getting ready, and then hopefully, you know, maybe get a break here. So far, he's been able to beat 2 guys, and that's what you got to do to get in this show.
Let's go to Bob Dillner.
Well, Steve, Greg Biffle always fast here at Bristol, but can you beat a 40 with Keselowski?
Man, that's pretty fast. I'll tell you what. My car was just a Redman Ford, just a little bit loose in qualifying. We see these 2 guys just turning around. I want want to be careful with this car. It's really, really fast at race trim. But we'll see what it can do. I hope so.
It's all about mind games, isn't it, guys?
Well, that kind of situation, Bobby, I got to give Greg credit. He realizes what his circumstance is. And we got trouble here in the middle of 3 and 4, and around Bowles goes, and he gets an outside safer barrier up there in turn 4.
Jason Bowles, the 2009 NASCAR West Series champion, 27 years old.
We heard Greg Biffle talk about what we talked about the young guys thinking about.
Yeah.
Hey, Biff says, with all his experience, I'm seeing guys turn around on the racetrack. I just want to get a good solid qualifying lap in.
But Steve, look here as we take a look at the 39 car once again. Goes down in the corner. Car bobbles. I think it hit bottomed out.
Yeah,
also bottomed out.
Yeah.
And he spins around, winds up being 32nd quickest. But realize something, guys. All the crashes we've had have come when? After we got past the guys that were locked in. All of these are having to lay it out there, and they're going for it, and it's costing every one of them.
Brad Keselowski looking for the pole, see if he can hang on after this. Veteran racer Brad Teague, he's a nearby local racer, trying to make his 230th Nationwide Series start, 4th fastest of the go or go home drivers. David Gilliland is aboard the 91 this weekend.
It's a good first lap for him, 24th quickest at a 15.91.
Look for him to maybe pick it up even more on lap 2. Looks like he's got a little bit better grip on this lap.
Good pickup. Gilliland with a 15.85, 21st overall. Let's go back to Bob.
Well, you got to love the independent guys, and Danny O'Quinn is one of those guys. Fastest in the first practice for the Nationwide Series yesterday, but these guys that have just hit the wall here, how much does that concern you, Danny?
Well, I mean, certainly the track's probably a little freer today. Luckily, we were a little snug yesterday, and go down here and talk to our teammate David Gillen. He just went out and see what his car did. You know, luckily we got 10 or 15 cars in between us, and make a few little adjustments if we need to. But car drove really good every time we were out yesterday, so pretty excited. I love Bristol, and go out here and see, get the best lap we can in.
Better hurry up and go catch them.
Excuse me?
Better hurry up and go catch your teammate.
Thank you, guys.
Paul Menard in the 98 car. His first lap, 26th overall.
Good solid first lap for him. I'll look for him to pick up on the second lap, and he does. He jumps up to 21st quickest at a 15.85.
If these guys, it's kind of a no-win situation. I mean, if you go out and don't get the car up to speed to get it in the show, you didn't do your job. And if you step over the line and crash it, you didn't do your job. So these guys have got to hit it just about perfectly.
Are you ready to discover NASCAR Nation's next great superstar? Introducing Fast Track to Fame. Join hosts Michael Waltrip and Carissa Thompson as America's most unique performers cut loose each week and compete for their chance to become a star. Talent competition so wild it could only happen trackside. It's an all-new episode of Fast Track to Fame this Monday on Speed. Derek Cope in the 73 car.
Herman, you've been a judge on that show. It's fun.
Yeah, the very first one, you had a ball. Saw some very good acts, a lot of interesting people, and the fans at the racetrack really enjoyed it.
Cope completes his second lap of qualifying, picks it up just a little bit, moves up to 31st quickest in that number 73 car. And that locks in Paul Menard.
Paul Menard just a tick quicker than David Gilliland.
And that lap for Derek Cope was 1/100th of a second faster than Dennis Setzer, who only ran one lap because of his crash. So Dennis is still kind of waiting to see if he's going to get locked in or not.
Well, let's see how conservative the Biff is. Those two, conservative and Biffle, don't seem to go together.
No, I think that Greg Biffle is telling us something that we've known a long time ago that he needed to be able to do. Get smarter.
Yep.
I mean, we know that he can run fast. He knows he can run fast, but he's not conserving a whole lot. If that's an easy lap, he's 5th quick on that first one, Hermie.
20 times Greg Biffle has been to victory lane in the Nationwide Series. And he is 5th overall.
But Steve, he did what you talked about earlier. He got himself inside that, really prime top 8 position.
Yep. Yeah, 55 previous Nationwide Series races. The average starting position for those winners is 8th.
Whoops, I think I missed pit road.
A little bit too tight.
We hadn't heard that a lot today, have we?
Nope. Scott Riggs went for a spin yesterday in first Nationwide Series practice. Fortunately, did not make any contact with the wall. ...2002 Nationwide Series Rookie of the Year.
So 9 car owned by Robbie Benton is currently 12th in this year's Nationwide Series points.
Like a lot of other teams, really looking for that sponsorship, and they got a good race car driver in Scott Riggs, and you got to admire these guys for coming to the racetrack with good stuff every week, trying to make it happen.
Hermie Scott's from a little town called Bahama, North Carolina, I guess near Durham. And I read that 2 of his buddies are putting together an old-fashioned, they're going to basically have a chicken lunch, and they're going to sell chicken lunches one at a time to help raise money for his racing effort.
Well, guys, I hate to point it out, but that was not what Scott Riggs or Robbie Benton were looking for. He ran a 16:02 on that first lap and did not pick up on the second. Currently 35th, and
it's going to be on the fence.
It's going to be right there on the edge. Right there on the edge.
Jeff Andy Ponstein will be followed by Shelby Howard, Willie Allen, and Johnny Chapman.
Point something else out about Riggs's lap. David Green in the 49 car ran a 16:021 to his 16:027. 6 1/1000ths of a second separates those 2 drivers.
Wow, good lap for Andy Ponstein.
Good, bud. You're in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, shut it down. Shut it down. Take it easy, Andy. Take it easy. He slowed down, didn't he, Hermie? Drivers?
He said, this thing's feeling good to me. I'm going on for lap 2. Good run for Andy Ponstein, 21st fastest. Good job.
Yeah, you can say that now. But when I tell you in, what are you supposed to do?
Depends on if what you said yesterday was the truth.
You wreck my race car, you're going to find out what the truth is.
Shelby Howard has 1 start this season. Came at Vegas, finished 20th. One Bristol start to his credit. Finished 23rd here back in 2008.
Like he's got a pretty good little lap going here. 26th quickest on that first lap. Locks Shelby Howard in.
Hey, you made Bristol, baby. Thanks. Great job, everybody.
Woo, big pickup.
I'd say Shelby Howard, 15th
Very
overall.
nice, guys.
That crew chief right there, Jeff, is Chris Rice. Been around the sport a long time.
That voice sounded familiar.
Kenny Wallace back in the day, and he's over helping Shelby Howard now.
Hey, attention, Speed fanatics. Purchase a Speed Grub and Rub at Martinsville Ticket Package and receive a reserved front stretch ticket to both Saturday and Sunday races, plus an all-you-can-eat trackside breakfast on Saturday with select NASCAR drivers and Speed on-air personalities, all for $99. 1-877 race ticks, or visit speedtv.com.
Was he rubbing on you a minute ago, Hermie?
Just lightly.
It's the rub and grub.
Okay. Willie Allen on the Speedway right now, and folks, he just qualified that 05 car into the race for today. 23rd quickest on his first lap.
1583 for Willie Allen.
I tell you, these last cars going out, you know, Chapman, Kligerman, O'Quinn, Scott, Jason Keller, a lot of good race car drivers still yet to go. So this is going to get down to the wire here, Steve.
Meaning Derek Cope, Dennis Setzer, Mark Green, Scott Riggs, those boys are nervous.
Oh, they've got to be, because these guys are finding speed that we haven't seen all weekend long.
You know, Johnny Chapman made contact with the wall yesterday, but prior to that was a top 15 type car in speed. So see if he can put that spin behind him and get a good lap in. But Johnny's got a lot of experience, so look for him to be able to pick it up.
Chapman, the 44th driver to qualify. He also one of the drivers that spun out in first practice yesterday.
He's not going to do it on the first lap. Now, if you look at the tracker, you need to be on the other side of that number 30 at 35th position. And on the second lap, he's doing that. Slowly but surely moving his way back up. Going to be a really good second lap. Locks himself in.
Yeah, good pickup on lap 2. Picked up about 0.3 of a second, Steve. Good pickup for Johnny.
Chris Lawson now actually bumped out of the race now, the first driver, but he wrecked in that 52 car.
You got to beat 7, and he was the first one bumped out of that position. 43 cars have qualified, 44 cars have qualified so far.
Veteran Kevin LePage out of Shelburne, Vermont, got a win back here in 1998.
If Kevin can run what he did in practice, it would lock him into the field also. He ran a 15.95 in practice. He's 16 flat on his first lap.
I want to mention too, Johnny Chapman is locked in and Brad Teague is bumped out.
Good pickup, 20th quickest for the number 56 car of LePage.
Good job, buddy, good job.
He knows his way around here.
He's always been a good qualifier too, even back in the Sprint Cup days when he ran those cars for Roush and Nationwide Series, whatever. He's always been able to get it done in qualifying.
Very smooth. Say it locks LePage in.
Go. Trouble for Parker Kligerman.
Hey, get it together here. Back up. Get you a lap in here.
Yeah,
You're not tore up too bad.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I think he is.
He can't see the right side of the race car.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I can do a lap.
Just trying to get your speed up. All you need to do is run in the 15s to get in the race here. This is your white flag lap right here.
Keep the camera on this one. It's going to be interesting here. That car's bottoming out.
No smoke, no tire rubs.
Well, he didn't have enough speed to get up, but he's got way too much damage on the right front of this car to run a fast lap.
And he not quick enough after making damage. That does, however, lock Derek Cope in. Guys, let's see what happened to young Parker Kligerman. Coming off four.
Too loose up off that corner.
Doesn't take much.
Kligerman picked up a pole last year at Kansas.
Guys, this first time we've seen the safer barrier that they just added. Got him in trouble.
Just 4 drivers left to qualify here at Bristol. Can Brad Keselowski hang on to the pole? Just 4 drivers remain. Danny O'Quinn, Brian Scott, Morgan Shepherd, and Jason Keller.
Remember, Danny O'Quinn was fastest in our first practice here yesterday. We'll see, and he's way up the racetrack here on lap 1. But if he can just be consistent, be patient, he should have plenty of speed to get this car in the show.
First lap locks him in. 29th quickest at a 15.87 for Danny O'Quinn.
And officially bumps Jason Bowles out, but of course Bowles made heavy contact up between turns 3 and 4. Nice job, Danny O'Quinn, 16th overall.
And you know, Danny O'Quinn's got to be thinking, hey, I know I want to get this car on the show, but he's also here trying to get his name out. And, you know, he's like, look, I got a car fast enough to qualify in the top 5. I want to do that too. But a good idea for him just to take what the car would give him, get the car on the show.
11 car Brian Scott on the track. Now, he was fast in practice yesterday. 3rd quickest. Car gets a little loose right there on late exit of turn 2.
Top 10 starts for Brian Scott in 2 of this season's 3 events.
He's another one's going to have to get it done on lap 2, Steve. Not a very good first lap.
Maybe he was sneaking up on her.
It just about snuck up on him.
So Scott picks up considerably on his 2nd lap, 23rd, safely in And that does bump Scott Riggs out of the show, unfortunately, for RAB Racing.
Here we go. Morgan Shepherd, 2 to go. Dennis Setzer right now on the outside looking in. Derek Cope is locked in.
Morgan Shepherd second only to Kevin Harvick in wins here at Bristol.
He needs to run anything into 15, Steve, to get this car in a position to try to get in the show.
Morgan's also set on the pole up here 3 times at Bristol.
Morgan hasn't qualified for the previous 2 Nationwide Series events.
He needs to pick up a 0.13 of a second if he wants to race here.
Looks like he's going to get it done.
Getting it done. And he does.
Great run by Morgan Shepherd. Great job, and that unfortunately bumps Mark Green from the show. And veteran Jason Keller, all-time series leader in terms of starts, the last driver to qualify. Don't forget, coming up, Sprint Cup Series practice here at the top of the hour.
Jason is on track right now to bump Dennis Setzer, who also got into trouble on his second lap. First lap good enough to get him locked into the race.
And that does bump Dennis Setzer out of the race. And that means that Brad Keselowski has secured his 5th NASCAR Nationwide Series pole. Keller safely in. Let's take a look, guys, at the front row. Brad Keselowski, 2 young hard chargers, Joey Logano, and let's go to Bob Dillner.
Well, the 22 is number 1 here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. Brad Keselowski on the pole for the 2nd time this year. And let's ask you about this race, though. How is that going to translate from qualifying to the race for you today?
Well, you know, the big thing here is that you get to number 1 pit stall. That's probably the biggest thing here. Other than that, I don't really think it matters. The year I won this race, I started 38th. So, you know, I still think like my teammate Justin's going to be really good. He's got a great car. So, you know, I don't really think starting position's all that sensitive, but we'll see. And either way, we're proud to be on the pole with a discount tire Dodge.
And at the same time, you always have to worry about the bump and run here at Bristol, don't you?
Certainly. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. And whoever positions himself in the best place when that happens is going to win the race.
And of course, he's got Sprint Cup Series practice coming up on speed in just a little while here, Steve.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. As we said, the 5th career pole for Brad Keselowski in his 108th start.
And Steve, what I see when you take a look at this starting grid is if Brad can get to the bottom of the racetrack and beat Joey there, then I think he's going to be able to set the pace early on, and he'll have to use, I think, the bump and run. I'm talking about Joey Logano to get around this 22 car.
And keep your eye on Casey Kane inside of row 4. Yesterday on the long run looked like one of the cars to beat.
Kelly Byers also quick in the 88 car. He is hungry as we look a little bit further back.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick, you got to watch him. But how about those great runs by Shelby Howard and Danny O'Quinn? Both of them made great efforts when it counted the most.
It's Paul Menard back in row 14. Look for him to make his way to the front.
Veteran Morgan Shepherd, row 17.
Derek Cope, the final driver to make it in. Let's take a look at the drivers who did not make the show. Teague, Riggs, Bowles, Kligerman, Green, Lawson, and Dennis Setzer.
Out of those guys, 4 of them found the outside safety barrier right there. Had problems during qualifying, so had to come back, you know, in a while and see if they can do it again next weekend at Nashville.
Well, as you said, they had to go for it, and they
didn't work.
It didn't work, but they sure went for it. Well, Sprint Cup final practice coming up next here on Speed. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us for Nationwide Series qualifying.